to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Going to have to be doing that a lot. So we'll go ahead and do roll call.
Commissioner Rayum.
Who did you call?
Rayum.
There you go.
Present.
Commissioner Goodson.
Here.
Commissioner Krantz.
Here.
Commissioner Beers. Here. Chairperson Tamori.
Present. Okay, the first order of business is Butte Artists Mural Association, but I understand that that's postponed due to some personal business.
Yes, we did receive correspondence from Beatrice, and she said that she would not be able to attend via Zoom this evening, and she would like to postpone until the August regular meeting of the Arts Commission. But the information is provided within your packet for review until we receive that presentation at the next regular meeting.
So I asked for that presentation because I wanted to get a better understanding of what the average mural would cost. I'm wondering if it would be appropriate to have maybe an ad hoc committee just go over what she was going to say and come up with some sort of recommendations.
We could. I think it would be beneficial to hear her presentation in advance of an ad hoc meeting, and then we can take that information we receive and then discuss on the back end of that what the most beneficial path would be going forward as far as murals.
We don't have to vote on that, but is everybody kind of in agreement or?
Just a consensus
Yeah.
of the commissioners? Okay.
Well, hopefully she'll make it the next meeting in 2 months.
We hope
3
so
months.
as well, yes.
And which one was that for?
That was for the Butte Artist Mural Association presentation.
It would
And
be-
it is the first item in your packet.
I don't know if it's there. I think I.
Oh, it should
I
be
printed it up.
pages 3 and 4 of the
Is it?
agenda packet.
Got it? Okay. Okay, this time, this is the time to address the commission about any item not listed on the agenda. If you wish to address the commission on an item listed on the agenda, please follow the directions listed above.
Chairperson Tamori, we have one speaker on non-agenda items, Catherine Huden.
Yeah, is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I need to come up yet. Hi, Commissioners. Oh, I hate that clock. I first of all want to thank all of you for serving on the commission, and I'm really glad our town has an arts commission. I've been an artist all of my life, and I love art. I teach pottery, and I've gotten recently involved with the Feather River Nature Center. And of course, as I was walking around there, I got these thunderbolts of ideas to beautify that little park. So one of the projects we've taken on, and I'm not asking the commission for money, believe it or not, is that there are these two metal tables with little stools around them, and they've all scarred up and nasty. So we have someone that's coming and actually going to scrape them down and paint them nicely with a really nice coat of color, 2 different colors, and then we're going to make those into teaching vehicles. One is going to have pipe vine butterfly on top with the life cycle on the stools, and the other one has a Chinook salmon with the life cycle of the Chinook. And as people sit there, we're going to have a way to show them how the animals in the area live. And they're going to get coated, after the artist paints on top, then they'll get coated with the anti-graffiti paint to hopefully keep them nice. And the other project that hasn't happened yet, this one already, we have the paint, we have the man doing it, we just don't have the artist yet locked up for it. I'm kind of asking permission and also saying what we're doing at the same time. And the other one is a mural that would wrap around the entrance to the nature center. Right now there's stenciled fish that are just painted on the wall, kind of, they're okay. But I had this vision of having a whole river scene and above the bench would be the things above the river, and then on the flat part of the bench, it would be like you're looking down on the backs of the fish, and under the bench would actually be the fish swimming in the river. So as people walked up, they would actually see what it would look like if you were swimming in the Feather River right behind them. So it's kind of a way to introduce people to our nature center and make it more beautiful. If perhaps there is some funding down the road, I'm contacting Steve Fairshod, who has done many murals in Paradise, which are quite lovely, and I like his style. I don't know exactly what he would charge yet. I'm going to talk with him tonight. So, you know, if there is any way of funding some of this, we'd be happy to have that happen. But if it's not the case, I'm just making sure the city's okay with it because it is a city park. But it's only to make things prettier. So that's our goal. And I don't have a plan for it yet. I'll wait for an artist to actually draw it and we'll present it later on. Oh, darn, I'm over. Oops, sorry. Okay.
Okay, thank you for your, well, I have, Commissioner Goodson has the floor.
So it sounds good, but I don't know if anybody else, I'm a visual learner. So will you have something forthcoming that we can actually see a design, a drawing? Because it's kind of hard to even consider or fund something without having anything tangible.
Oh, yes, certainly. We'll have a whole cartoon that'll show you what the wall would look like. I am also, surprise, surprise, a visual learner. And so I drew out a very, I'm not a very good drawing person, I'm a potter. So drawing is not my skill set. So I always find somebody really good to draw something for me. And we would certainly, if we ask you guys for money, I'm hoping maybe we can raise it ourselves. But if we need money, we would certainly give you a very detailed look at it. The tables will only be improved, so we kind of thought that would not be necessary to get official city approval. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm here asking.
Well,
It will need official city approval because it's a city-owned property at the Nature Center. And so, and I'm sorry for butting in, I just wanted to provide
please-
some
please do.
information. So what we could do, if it's the consensus of the council or the commission, this could be brought back as a staff report for the August regular meeting. If we receive renderings and a cost amount for recommendation to city council for that second city council meeting in August, to potentially move forward with this arts project in a city park. Museum. There we go.
Okay. So we're hoping to have the mural done by the Salmon Festival. That's our dream, because everybody's here for that festival at the end of September. We're one of the sponsors. We're going to sponsor the soiree again this year at Bicentennial Park, like last year. And so we're getting that lined up and probably, but the next art commission meeting isn't until August, correct?
That's correct.
That's kind of a tight time schedule.
So there could be a process if the commission would like to send recommendation to the city council without seeing the renderings in advance. And I think that the commission would like to see the renderings in advance.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't make any decision, yay or nay, without seeing a draft of what that's going to look like and potential budget. And then our recommendation must go before city council. So there is a process.
Yeah, I was aware of that. What I'm just thinking, since you only meet once every 3 months, it makes jobs like this really take a lot longer, because I think we could probably get it all done in maybe a month, by priming the wall and everything. But if the meeting's middle August, that maybe, I don't know if that would work by September. So maybe we have to put that on hold. I don't know.
Salmon Festival would be the 4th Saturday of September, so it gives you a solid
Yeah,
4 weeks, if that may be.
But it's also got to work with the artists
Right,
and their time
right.
schedule too, because the summer, of course, is a busy time to do murals. So, and the tables, do I need official?
It would all be submitted as one request.
Okay. because we were almost ready to go on that, and probably a good thing I came today. That's what I told Joan Bosk. I said, I think we should ask the city before we do stuff.
It's city property.
Yes.
And can you imagine if anyone just decided to paint a wall or a bench? Yeah.
That's kind of what I kind of felt deep down, that we're not really, it's not our place, even though some of us kind of feel like we own it, but, because they work there every week and really take care of it, but, okay, well, I'll take that back to the group we're working on this and let them know we have to have everything submitted to you guys in August, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
by the end of July, if possible, so that the agenda can be prepared for the August meeting.
So the what can be prepared?
The agenda for the
Oh,
Arts
okay.
Commission.
All right, the end of July. Okay, they won't be happy, but I at least did the right thing and came. I didn't want it to get put in and then get painted over. That would be tragic. So I don't think anybody will hate it, but, you know, I understand that it's not our place to just do whatever we want.
Right.
Well, just want to thank you for your efforts, though, and, you know, your heart's in the right spot, so we just have to get the system to work.
Yeah, well, we just, you know, we want to beautify it, and education is really, almost 90% of the group is really into educating people and trying to bring them out to nature, and we do a different activity every month now. We've set that up, so we do different things, come down on a Saturday sometime. We have them planned out for the next, till October, so it's kind of fun. We're doing owl palette dissection right now, which is kind of fun. So, anyway, bring your grandkids. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there any other persons in the audience that have signed up to speak?
Mr. Chairperson, that was the only speaker card that I have.
Okay, thank you. So we're on the number, regular business with approval of the February 8th minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from February 8th.
Do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries with 5 yeses and 0 nos.
Okay, next order of business is the recommendation to adopt the Declaration of Rights for all students to equity and arts learning. The commission received information on this. I was the one that submitted this for approval, and just want to give you a little background on it, if you would like. When I was at Butte County Office of Education, we passed a similar declaration, so it kind of parallels that. This Butte County Office of Education, along with the Kennedy Center, is working on a grant for Oroville, Thermalito, and Palermo school districts to include the arts in their early education. And the initiative is called Any Given Child, so that the notion is if a student attends our area schools, then they would be, well, we'd say they have the right, but they would be exposed to either instruction in music, art, drama, or dance. And so that's what we're working towards. And then the idea is with having that kind of a resource for our kids when they grow up in later life, and they have a lot of the characteristics of kids that had the privilege to have access to arts. And so it kind of levels the playing field for them. That's the whole idea. So this is just supporting that, but also I understand the city had adopted another similar idea. So any discussion? That's the background.
So really what the request is to send recommendation to the City Council to adopt a resolution in declaration of support of the Butte County Office of Education's support of this rights of all students to equity in art learning, and it thereby supports the Kennedy Center's efforts as well for equity in art for all students.
Yeah, there's a website on the, I'm sorry, I should have requested permission to speak, but there is a website that you can go to, Create California. It'll have the different districts, offices of education that adopted this, and so, Butte County Office of Ed has their little notation on there. And then, because I did it on all my correspondence, I usually put this little logo here, which is an Art Equity Champion logo. So it says that you're working for equity and trying to support the kids. So we'll have a town full of dancers, singers, and artists.
I don't see a problem with it. I appreciate something like this, recognizing equity, advocacy for all students, regardless of, the background, race, creed, or color, geographical location, to be able to participate in something like this, especially in the climate that we live in this day and age. So I approve, but I'm only one vote.
I also agree. Coming from theater background, I'm a theater kid, theater major in college. I 100% agree with this. My question, and maybe you don't know the answer, maybe that can come back, is how are these programs funded, and how do we regulate that? Like, how do we get the schools to comply with these regulations?
That wouldn't be on the city of Oroville. That falls in the hands of Butte County Office of Education. This is just a declaration in support of their efforts.
Copy. Thank you.
And know that we have a very strong advocate that's sitting on the dais right now. He will ensure that it is complied. Right?
We've been working for that goal. Any other comments, commissioners? Commissioner Krantz?
Well, I've had the privilege of attending BCOE-sponsored art shows for the high school students at Oroville High School when I worked in the ED classroom there. And they're very supportive, and the families come, and the students each have the opportunity to explain what they are submitting and what it means to them and where their inspiration came from. And that was always such a successful campaign, even just on a really small scale like that within that program. So I'm sure it would be very successful. I fully support this.
Commissioner Rayon?
So I've not worked with that logo yet, but I have gone to like some of the theater productions. You guys did the High School Musical or whatever this year, and I just love seeing the kids engage and like learn, and everyone's supported, and I would agree that, yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
Okay, well, that being said, do we have a motion?
I move that we adopt the Declaration of the Rights of All Students to Equity in Arts Learning Resolution.
I second.
All in favor?
Motion carries with 5 yeses and 0 nos.
Thank you. Okay, reports, discussion, correspondence. Got a staff update about the Table Mountain Art Wall.
Yes, and Jackie, may I have you switch it to my computer, to the monitors?
And you have that.
So we received a request for an update on the Table Mountain Art Wall, and that art wall currently is in progress on being constructed. This location is the specific location for that art wall. It is up Table Mountain Boulevard on the western bank. And at the top is the new multifamily housing projects, the Olive Ranch Apartments. I apologize for that. The Olive Ranch Apartments, we have phase 1, 2, and 3 currently under construction. With phases 2 and 3 came the agreement to install an art wall along this embankment. And so I have a copy. What was proposed originally was what you see here, and there's also a copy at each of your stations on the dais. And so this would be, what originally was proposed was a pour-in-place concrete wall with insets so that these salmon mosaics could be installed, and each school would have a class and their students make the salmon mosaics, and they would be installed on the art wall with little placards identifying which school and class and year had completed those salmon mosaics. We have an updated salmon mosaic here of what is being proposed for that art installation. That wall will be 6 feet tall and constructed of CMU or cinder blocks, and it's approximately 600 feet long. So there is numerous locations for salmon installation. And so the Rainforest art group is working with Modern Construction together so that they can construct this wall and get it prepped for this to go to the schools. And so the Rainforest Project will begin connecting with the schools so that these salmon can be put together. So that's currently the update that I have at the moment. Are there any questions?
Commissioner Krantz?
So I think when you said it will be inset, does that mean it's flush with the wall?
That's what the plan was. And so the Rainforest artists are working with the engineer constructing the wall or designing the wall, and so that they can set the blocks back a little bit so that it will be flush with the wall. So there will be inset locations for each proposed salmon.
And that design will help avoid vandalism, hopefully?
It will help avoid vandalism, and we've found that when it's artwork produced by citizens and by children, that its vandalism is reduced. You're not likely to see it as much, but they will. We've talked to the Rainforest artists, and they've discussed painting the graffiti coating over the top of it so that vandalism can be more easily removed over the mural mosaics as well as the plaques. So again, it's not 100% preventable, but we're hoping that it'll be reduced because it's so close to home.
You don't work with the kids I work with.
I know.
They thrive on vandalism.
Wishful thinking sometimes.
So my understanding is that there's over 70 of these that are going to go in. The idea is not to finish them all at once, but to have it spread out over a period of several years, so it's an ongoing project.
Correct.
Right now, I understand. Well, I was at Oroville High, so I know we are going to have a assembly site put there, and what I understand is it's going to be that rectangle. It's not going to be a salmon insert, but it's just the whole rectangle that's going to have like.
Yes. Yeah. So the black background that you see also is a part of that insert.
And also, we're planning on outreach beyond the schools. The Hmong Cultural Center was interested in having a possible site there. The Artist Rivertown will have a assembly site set up too. So, and then a lot, in addition to schools. So it'd be like drop-in kind of thing.
Yes.
So if you have any other organizations you know of, we'll figure out how to get that going too, I think. So. Okay.
And there will be more updates to come. This is still preliminary because the material for the wall has changed, so they're still figuring out all of the components of it. But we'll have more updates at the August meeting.
Commissioner Goodson.
So I'm worried when I heard mention of years. So I'm not comfortable with that. And so could you clarify what that looks like?
I don't have all the details on that because the Rainforest art group is still working out the details themselves because recently the wall is just now being constructed. So they weren't prepared for this to really move forward just yet. And so we are still working with them on the details of the duration of this project. So I will get those and I will update the committee. Absolutely.
We entertain some questions from the floor?
Yes.
You would have to
if that's
come up.
possible. I was just curious, how are artists going to help the students, or, because I was an artist in schools for 10 years in the Oroville and Butte County area, so are the artists going to work with the children?
Yes.
On the mosaic?
Yes.
That's the idea? So you're
Yes.
going to hire?
Dan
Artists?
Evers and Leanna are going to be the ones working with the students on this project.
Okay, and who is the Rainforest Coalition? I've never heard of them.
They've been around. He has done other projects in Paradise, but he has done projects all over California as well.
Oh, okay. So they're California at least?
They are California,
Oh, okay.
absolutely.
All right, not somebody from New York or something?
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool, okay.
Thank you. Any other discussion on that? Thank you for the update. Excited to see it finally,
Well, it's better than what we have.
well, it's going to be spectacular.
It is, huh? Thank you.
Okay, the discussion on the mural dedication plaques and also the QR codes. I was kind of curious about that.
Yes, so Jordan and Cecilia had been working with the Jimmy's Trophies, and we had previously discussed doing the bronze plaques. There's more limitations with the bronze plaques as opposed to with aluminum plaques. And so we can, with the aluminum, add color. They're lighter and easier to install. The graffiti coating can go over these as well, and they will last longer still than the murals themselves. With the bronze plaque, it does last many, many years, forever. But you're limited on color as far as, because we had discussed putting the Arts logo on it, and we wanted that logo to be as colorful as the Arts Commission itself. And so we feel that the aluminum placards will be better in the long run than the bronze placards. Plus, these are $65 versus $350. So, and if we have to replace one of these, it's $25 to replace it. So there's many benefits all around the aluminum versus the bronze. So I just wanted to let you know that's the direction we're going to be going, and we're going to get some final samples of this and then start installing them around town.
So final samples with the regular size.
With
right?
this size.
It's, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, it'll be this size, just aluminum and full of color. So,
Sounds good.
yeah, and with the Arts logo.
Great.
Oops, that was upside down. So I just wanted to give you that update. Also, for the Art and Public Places NOFA discussion, with the recent award of the Hewitt Park Phase 2 grant, there's an opportunity to do an art installation in the center small roundabout of the parking lot area. And so we're wanting to do, or the project lead, Greg Melton, is wanting to do a sculpture of some sort, or a metal something artistic within that roundabout to represent that new park. And so we were thinking it would be a good opportunity for an Arts NOFA to release it at that time, to call all artists to gain some ideas and hopefully some great art projects to consider for that location.
Commissioner Goodson.
So as you were speaking, I just saw a hit and run. Sculpture in the middle, bam.
Okay.
So some guardrails perhaps need to be looked at.
Yes, and this would be in the center. It's the small roundabout within Hewitt Park. And so we're not hoping that or anticipating people to be driving that quickly through that park. But we can do, instead of guardrail, maybe some decorative boulders or something along those
There you go.
lines.
Yes, okay,
Yes.
good idea.
So,
Okay, thank you.
But that's where we wanted to hold off on a NOFA so that we could have a good amount of money to put towards that project if it's the will of this body.
Just curious, what's our balance right now?
Our balance is currently $95,000, I believe. Oh, 92. I was corrected.
Tell me one more time where that location specific.
Hewitt Park, and I
Right,
can,
it's Hewitt Park and the roundabout.
yes, I will pull up an aerial of that for you. Yes, it is. And so we received a $4 million grant to spruce up that park. Well, I say spruce up, but it's actually going to be pretty magnificent. So there, in the next Park Commission meeting at 5:30 this evening is going to have an updated rendering of that new park. So here
Oh,
is the location of that roundabout within the parking lot of Hewitt Park. It's very small, it's full of vegetation at this time, but we would like to have that installation of a sculpture there. And so this park is actually going to be more in line with the railroad and mining theme because Hewitt Park was originally the Placer Wilcox mine, and it was a surface mine, plus the Union Pacific rail line runs across the street from the park, and the old depot restaurant and the old train depot sits across the street as well. So it felt fitting, because there's also 2 train engines located within the park, to have it be a train and mining theme for the park. So again, we will have that rendering, an updated final plan presented at the Park Commission at 5:30, if anybody would like to stick around.
Commissioner Goodson?
Okay, so Hewitt Park was awarded a grant.
Correct.
And how much was the grant?
4 million.
4 million.
4.5 million.
So, what would be the potential cost we'd be looking at for the sculpture? And is it because, where did the idea stem from? And is it a part of trying to absorb some of those monies?
No, the idea actually came last minute as just an option to add art to this location in addition to the park. It wasn't a part of the original park application for the grant funding. It just came later as this would be a great opportunity to also add public art to this location and have it be from a local artist.
Okay, so it's not a part of the grant
Not at
funding.
all.
Right.
No.
And so why this park as opposed to others?
Just
that
because
we
this
have?
park is going to be receiving a lot of, once it's completed, a lot more visitation and attention. And this would be great for an artist to have the spotlight at this location, and for our community to be able to have another location to enjoy public art.
Once we get rid of the transients.
I believe that with the additions this park provides, that
I know,
will
Ted.
mitigate itself.
I'm sorry.
You know me, I'm an optimist.
So,
I'm a realist. Thank you.
so there's no additional funding from the grant? It would have to come out of our NOFA funds?
Yes, that's correct.
And then, are we seeing any other additional construction that will increase our funds that are available?
Yes, the Hampton Inn and Suites is going to be paying their in lieu fee for the arts. And we have some other commercial construction projects coming up that are in application review.
And is that, they're supposed to put in 10,000, is it?
Oh, no,
What
it's
is it?
it's
What is
1%
it?
of the construction
1%
value Mm-hmm.
Construction, that's what it is.
for non-residential new construction.
Okay.
So they either pay the 1% in lieu fee, or they use that 1% valuation and create a piece of art. And so like at the Starbucks on Olive Highway, you'll see the navel orange murals. That was their 1% art.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I can, couldn't recall what that cost was. It's 1%.
And I also printed for everybody, because I know we have some new commissioners, the Art in Public Places and Oroville Beautification municipal code, so that you have that for reference.
Thank you, Dawn. That was
Welcome.
a good idea.
Got the welcome to Oroville sign?
Oh, Mr. Chairperson, we do have one speaker for item 6, Ted Hansen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, recognize Ted Hansen.
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I have a question about the dedication of the of the mural that Frank Wilson and I completed of the train.
Yes. So Miss Daly, who is now out on leave momentarily, she was putting all that together. So, and we were waiting for one more of the murals that was within that bundle of awarded murals to let us know that they would also like to have that dedication at the same time. We were going to do a walking dedication because all the murals were within close proximity of each other. And so we'd do one large dedication and have everybody walk around and we'd comment on them. But that hasn't happened yet. So thank you for that reminder. We would like to get back to that. I was hoping that we would have that tied up before she went out on leave, but it didn't happen. So I apologize. We will get back to that because it is important that those artists are.
Yeah, because we
Amended.
the news people from Chico and that have been waiting to find out because they want to do an article on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you for that
so-
information.
Yeah, they try to. We've been trying to coordinate a video
Okay,
with them.
thank you for that
Be good
information.
to know the same date we could do it at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get back on that.
Okay, thank you.
thank
The other
you.
question I have is, would be the NOFA for opening for more murals, other than Hewitt Park.
Well, that was where, when the Arts Commission opens a NOFA, they go through the discussion of whether they want it to be a broad location for the whole city of Oroville, specific to downtown, or specific to like this one for a park only. And so we would have that discussion at the next Arts Commission meeting as to how we would like to release that NOFA and what those parameters would be.
Okay. Thank you.
That's a good question.
Okay, look,
Oh, back to the Oroville sign update. So at the city council meeting, the council members had decided to hold off on the Welcome to Oroville sign because they would like to have the city seal or the city logo redesigned with the Oroville rebranding project that is going to be underway. Actually, it's already just underway in the last couple of weeks. And so that potentially a new logo will be coming out of that rebranding project for Oroville. And so that rebranding project will not just include marketing for Oroville, but it'll include marketing to families to move here, businesses to come here, and not just recreational marketing. So there will be more to come with that as well. So at this point in time, generic Welcome to Oroville signs with the population have been ordered and will be installed because the old ones, the Centennial signs, were so faded. And with that, in addition to the green line signs that you see around town that are faded, new signs have been ordered and will be received and installed soon as well. So we'll have,
Curious. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I cut you off.
you're fine.
So what's the cost of those generic signs?
The generic signs were already budgeted. So they were, I believe, I'm going off of recollection here, I believe it was about $6,000 for new signs. There's about 15 of them. So I'll get you that updated cost.
No, that's good.
But-
Thank you.
so we have one more thing, if there's nothing else. You gave us the Downtown Business Association's recap of their funding we gave them for performances.
Yes.
and there's a remainder, about $3,000. Did we have a expiration date on those grants?
Yes, this also comes with a request to extend their current grant from June 22nd or 2022 to January 2023. So we just received the request prior to, or excuse me, after the agenda was published. So it was not in time for a staff report to be presented. And so we would have to bring this back to the next August meeting for a staff report to approve the extension of those funds. But if we have the consensus of the commissioners now, we can bring that staff report back in August for an extension.
Any discussion on this? I keep bringing this up because I wanted to keep track of the performances. I think it's a good thing to have. However, the return on it is always kind of questionable in my mind. You have a performance that might reach about a dozen or so people in my assessment of the audience, and then it's gone. So I'm thinking that it was a good experiment, but I'm wondering if it could be better spent on permanent things.
I concur.
Commissioner Krantz.
It was brought to my attention that there was concern. Was there a May 23rd deadline that affected downtown performances that would have crossed over into the laid-back luau live entertainment?
Not to my recollection, but I can look further into that.
Okay.
May 23rd.
Okay.
So we're going to review this in our September meeting. Is that the plan?
August meeting, yes,
August
that's
meeting,
correct.
Sorry, August. Yeah. Oh, August. Yeah. Okay. What's that? Oh, good, Commissioner Goodson.
I'm in agreement with, I was just going to call you council person. Wow.
Oh, a promotion.
I'm just speaking into your future. I just want to see more bang for the buck. I mean, you have a performance and poof, it's gone. You know, and it's just not long lasting. And it's my understanding that the turnout was sketchy. So
Okay.
those are my 10 cents.
Well, we all have time to think that over, and then we'll address it at our next meeting, and I think we have all our business covered.
If there are any commissioner reports,
Oh, commissioner report, excuse me, it wasn't on my list here. So this is the time that if you have any events you want to report on,
We have an upcoming budget meeting at 4:00, if you'd like to stay.
so we have one event that might be worthwhile. The Butte County Library is having an event where you paint an apron and you get a cookbook of a famous artist that has the afro. I don't have to say his name. So it starts at 10, goes to 1. Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Jeez.
Bob Ross with the happy little trees.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, well, he does happy clouds and landscapes. And anyway, so the next session's Butte County Library. It starts at 10. You get an apron, some paint, got a person there to help you, and I think the kids get a couple sets of brushes there so that you can carry on. So if you got kids, that would be a good thing to bring them to. So, any other commissioner things or events? Commissioner Krantz.
So I want to again encourage everyone who has not yet had the opportunity to attend, because it does incorporate some beautiful architecture in our town, to please treat yourself and come to one of Daniel Ballard's Saturday downtown walks. They are wonderful. He is so knowledgeable. And there is so much beauty in this town that I think so many of us, if not for his research and his planning, would not be able to appreciate. Even people who have lived here all of their lives seem to learn something and also are able to contribute something on each of those that I have attended. So it's first Saturdays, and they meet at the Municipal Auditorium at 3, 6, and 8 o'clock, and it's just a wonderful community experience.
Just one last observation. I've been driving around town, and it seems the town's a lot neater and cleaner, and so I want to express my appreciation to the city staff and the people of Oroville seem to be doing a better job, at least downtown. That's where I usually drive around.
Thank you for that. And I will pass it along to our Public Works and Code Enforcement departments. They've been working very hard. We have more staff in both of those departments. And so they've really been able to make an impact with their numbers. And so thank you. I'll pass that information along.
So let me just interject some information. And I take, as long as there's an opportunity that presents it, I'm going to applaud the citizens of Oroville. And why is that? Because for years we were at a $1.8 million deficit, and we froze positions, and we were not able to hire. We were not able to do beautification and so many things that we needed. But because of you citizens that voted in Measure U on the ballot, the 1% sales tax, that's why you see upgrades and improvements. You see street cleaners and et cetera, et cetera. So it's because of you. So you need to recognize that. Without your vote, we wouldn't have the funding to do any of that. You just made our job easier. We just say, well, hey, here's a project. Let's go for it. Sign on the dotted line.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's
applaud
true.
yourself. And let other people know, it's not because of the 7 people that are sitting up here. It's because of you.
Commissioner Beers.
Thank you. I just wanted to say Birdcage just finished their run of Footloose at the State Theater, and it went so well. I had an amazing amount of attendance, and I had a lot of ticket sales in Chico. I did a lot of advertising for the show, and we had a big draw from Chico, which I didn't know was going to happen. And of course, the community came out and supported us. So I'm super excited about, what's going to be coming next. We have a board meeting next week. So during our next meeting, I'll let you guys know what our next season will be.
Awesome. Fantastic. That's a good report.
Okay, any other comments? Then we'll adjourn the meeting, and thank you very much for attending.
Thank you. Great meeting.